What's up, buddy?
To YouTube, I like the idea of growth. That's what I'm going to talk about. I get to teach a class as a resilient trainer on the Air Force Base, and it's called Fixed or Growth Mindset. That's what I'm going to talk about personally, professionally, as an individual, in your relationship, in your life. I think all of us can definitely benefit from it, and I'm a true believer in growth. Growth, in my opinion, begins with awareness. Awareness, if you can learn something, if you can do something different, how you can improve whatever situation it is. And growth doesn't always have to be about making things better. It's just learning something new. If you think about it, most of us leave the classroom environment and then we are either in school or work, our careers, our lives are going on. And with the exception of the student, we're not in that classroom environment. But that doesn't mean that we cannot continue to grow. So part of the growth mentality is, like I said, that awareness. What you can learn today, this moment, this year, to make things better. For us to think broader. We often exercise physically, but what about our mind? And that can just be reading. That could be paying attention, observing the good and the bad that we get to see in our daily lives every single week. What about our outlook? How we look at things? Hopefully it's a positive as opposed to negative. Have you ever been around someone who's often or always negative? Those are the people that I observe and try to stay away from because it shouldn't affect me, and I don't let it affect me. I notice it. I'm not trying to change anyone. If somebody asks me for advice, I give it to them. If they don't, I just keep my mouth shut. But the outlook is very important for growth. In other words, if we do something, even if it's something that we're not looking forward to, something that may challenge us, that we're scared of, and we say, you know what, I'm gonna have to do this, but my outlook is let's be proactive, let me learn, let me ask questions so I can continue to grow, which is very important. One constant in life out of many is change. Change is going to happen constantly. So we should embrace it, even if it's doing something that we may not be the experts at, or if it's something that we don't know anything about. But change is constant, and change allows us an opportunity to grow, to continue to learn, to become wiser, to have that experience. In the Air Force, when I was military, my career is defined by many words, but the first one that comes to mind is change. Enlisted, retrained from firefighter to personnel, commissioned, went through ROTC, and then all of the jobs that I had, active duty, reserve, they were constantly challenging me in good ways. So I could either do it and say, you know what, I don't like this, and be upset, or be miserable, which that happens. How many people do you know are miserable in their lives? And why are they miserable? So change, outlook, awareness is what I think definitely improves our growth, personal growth as an individual, me, first and foremost, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my children, my relationship with my co-workers, my friends and family. So that growth, it's not that I'm trying to be preachy in any of my videos or with this topic, it's just that awareness that I want to share with you. If you've already thought about it, great. If you haven't, I'm planting that seed, or at least watering the seed that may already be there for growth. How does this apply to you? How does growth apply to you? Ask yourself, do you have a fixed mindset? In other words, this is the way it's always going to be. This is the way it's always been. I'm not going to be able to make those adjustments to learn or to think different or do different or act different. That's the fixed mindset. Hopefully you don't have that mindset. And if the answer is yes, you are like that, the good news is you can change it if you want to. Do things for yourself. Change for yourself, first and foremost. And then there's going to be other people that benefit from your actions, your decisions, your choices. Or do you have that growth mentality already? And I'm not saying if you do that it's always going to be easy, because we will be challenged, but being challenged is a good thing if it makes us where we grow as individuals and have a broader perspective of whatever situation we may be going through. One thing I forgot to say is I have learned the most from challenges, from mistakes. Either it's my mistake or somebody else's mistake. Usually my mistakes, but that's where I've learned the most, and that's where I've actually grown. So if you ever have a challenge, ask yourself, what can you learn from that experience? So long, buddy.
All right, buddy. Deuces.
Never.